Welcome to an advanced session where we're going to be talking about how we're going to kind of tag website visitors with their name and email addresses by using Sales IQ. And we're going to talk about like setting up intelligent triggers and followed by how you can kind of do customized actions on your website based on how your visitor behaves. And that's also, we are going to follow with a live demo. So I'm going to show you this nice little picture. So what you see at the center of this picture, it's actually black hole. So what's black hole in theory? Black hole is a kind of a place in space where no radiation can escape. And do you know, like most of us have been to a black hole before? Any idea? Your website, of course, is a place where 80% of your prospects and leads disappear. So it's a virtual black hole for your business. So we're going to look into this problem right now. I kind of told you like your website is like a virtual black hole. Your prospects and leads disappear into oblivion. Now we kind of need to identify prospects on your website and focus on leads that demand your attention or deserve your attention. So how are you going to do that? Of course, we talked about Sales IQ yesterday, and there are some basic things about it, like we showed you how you can go ahead and then kind of use rules to do real-time lead scoring, identify people by their name and all that. So if you could see this picture, there are few places where you could see there are users with names, for example, Barbara, Desky, Patricia, Freddie, and all those people. But if you could see, there are people with only numbers in there. So there are still visitors on your website, first-time visitors. It's only that these people are not on your CRM system or they have not filled out any form or anything like that, so you're not able to get the name and email address of that person. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to teach you a very cool technique on how you can tag your website visitors with name and email addresses. So how many of you use email marketing to drive traffic to your business? Myself. So what you can do here, we have this parameter that we released recently, the Sales IQ identifier parameter, where you can use any marketing platform and what you can do, like email marketing platform, and if you could go ahead and then insert this code inside, and what you can do is you can go ahead and then if you're sending out a newsletter, if you're sending out any of your email campaigns for promotional purposes and all that, you can go ahead and then insert this code. This Sales IQ code is available on the Sales IQ website. And what you'll be able to do is once people get onto your website, you will be able to identify people by their name as well as email address. So that when people are on your website, you kind of need to connect with them on a personal level and start a conversation by addressing with their first name. The level of engagement is going to be different. So this is a very cool feature that we released recently, and it kind of works with all the email marketing platforms. And now that people are on your website, like I told you, we need to make them feel kind of special. So how do you make them feel special is you need to kind of personalize your prospect engagement. So that's the reason why we have this art of kind of going ahead and then tagging prospects with your first name and email address. So what are intelligent triggers? Intelligent triggers are a fun and easy way to get started with automated prospect engagement. So we're going to do a live demo right now. I'm going to switch screens, get into Sales IQ. So this is the Sales IQ screen. So I'm just going to kind of go ahead. Can everybody see this clearly? Okay. So inside Sales IQ, there is a section called Settings. In Settings, there is something called Automation. In Automation, there's a section called Intelligent Triggers. So in Intelligent Triggers, what you can go ahead and then do is, you can kind of go ahead and then hit on the Add button. And okay. So when a visitor, you can kind of go ahead and then, this is like training the system. I'm going to train the system to kind of send out automated messages. Somebody in the previous session, they had this question, like how can I send out automated messages when people land on my website? So this is how you go ahead and then do that. And the best part is you can go ahead and then have rules and different messages for each message that you send out. So I'm going to say, when people land on my website, And let's say, I'm going to start with something really basic. I'm going to say country is equal to United States, United Kingdom. So I can go ahead and then choose any number of countries. And then I can select an action. If you could see, there are like multiple actions that you can have over here, but the most obvious one would be to send chat invite. And so I'm going to say, you can go ahead and then put your name in there. I'm just going to say Ambi. And I can put in a message. The message can be, hi, something as simple as this. How can I help you today? And I can also set in a timer and then say, kind of send this message out after 10 minutes, people land on my website. So I can say, put in 20 seconds. So what's going to happen in here is anybody, when a prospect lands on your website, and if the country is equal to United States or United Kingdom, the system will send out an invite in this name with this message, and it will go exactly once a person kind of crosses 20 seconds on your website. And like you saw how we used to kind of get a message, the person on the other side will get the message on his end, and you can start a conversation with him. And the best part, what you can do is, you can get SalesIQ on your phone, Android or iPhone, and you can start closing deals on the move, because what the system is going to do right now is the system will go ahead and then keep sending out invites, and then it will kind of collect replies from different prospects and kind of route it back to you so that you'll be able to, let's say if this invite was sent to 100 people on your website and then 70 people wrote back, the system will collect the replies, and even if you're not at your desk, the system will send it over to you on your phone, and then even if you missed it, this will kind of appear in the missed chat section. So that is just one way of going ahead and then setting up an intelligent trigger. Like I told you, we can go ahead and then have multiple intelligent triggers. So what are the other rules that we can have? Let's say you sent out an email campaign, and I can say the campaign name is equal to, let's say, deal of the day or discount or coupon code or anything like that. I can go ahead and then say, send chat invite. This is the campaign name, is the name that you gave in your campaign section. And I can say, I can put my name in there, and I can go ahead and then say, hi, do you need a coupon code? And that's going to be after 10 seconds. So here you could see that we set up an intelligent trigger, and anybody who's coming in from this campaign, and what's going to happen is they will be sent out this specific message exactly 10 seconds after they kind of jump on your website. And the best part is if you're using CRM, Zoho CRM especially, and that's going to be a complete no-brainer for you. So what we need to do is go ahead and then say CRM, and then say, you can go ahead and then configure triggers for any of the section. It can be CRM contact, lead or potential. I can say CRM potential, and let's say number of open potentials is more than 2. I can go ahead and then send a chat invite and put a different message in there, then say, hi, thanks much for coming back. How can I help you? And of course, you can put in a timer in there and then say 20 seconds. So we got like 20 different rules, just like we used to go ahead and then kind of do real-time lead scoring. Over here in Kustomize, we got 20 different rules that are going to help us in setting up intelligent triggers. So what are the different rules? So you can do it based on campaign content, campaign name, a specific city, and not only that, you can also go ahead and then say, you want to set up a trigger for somebody on your current page. Let's say current page contains pricing any page that contains pricing, and then you can send a chat invite from a specific person, put a message in there, and then send it after a specific time. So like I told you, remember this, you can set up triggers on your system and get Sales IQ on your phone, and then the system will send out the invites, and then you keep getting back the replies on your phone as prospects write back to you. So that's as simple as that. So, and another concept in terms of automation is kind of like targeted routing of prospects. So let's say there are a lot of, so again, this inside Sales IQ. So what I'm going to do in here is, I'm just going back to the settings section, and in there I'm going to jump into automation. We just looked into intelligent triggers right now. I'm going to go into visitor routing. So visitor routing is also another cool concept. So what you can do is I can say, anybody who is coming in from United States, and let's say I can route it one by one, or I can do it on least load basis, so that my agents are kind of, it's either like you pick them up or you have a sales guy pick them up. I can say one by one, and then go ahead, and then Jeff is one of my sales reps. I got James also. So what I can do is, anybody or any visitor on my website who's going to match this specific rule are going to be routed one by one. The first person is going to be Jeff, and then it's going to be James. So you can also add yourself, and then you can kind of start routing leads to prospects, leads to your sales reps based on this. And the best part is, intelligent triggers and visitor routing kind of go hand in hand, because what we're going to do right now is we're going to kind of say CRM, and then say CRM potential, and closing date is after, I can choose a date, like a week from now, and I can kind of just route it to my top sales rep, or if I'm a solopreneur, I can go ahead and then say just route it to myself, because we've already been having a conversation, and if this person is coming back to my website, obviously I want to be the person who's talking to him so that I can build the relationship even more. So this is how visitor routing works. And my last part of the presentation is Invoke API. So this Invoke API is kind of something that's been, we talked about a lot of this in our UK Zoaholics and Australia Zoaholics and all the places, and it was kind of very exciting for a couple of reasons. We kind of opened up our Sales IQ API to our partners and people, this kind of geeky stuff. And you can do a lot of cool stuff with that. I'm not going to go into the details, but I'm going to show you like 2 cool scenarios of what can be done with Invoke APIs, and especially, let's say, if you are an e-publication company, you have a website that kind of distributes content and all that, and the possibilities are literally endless. So you can go ahead and then dynamically change content. Let's say you put out a blog, and then a prospect on your website is kind of reading through a series of blogs that are related to each other, and you can show up the next recommended article based on that. For example, this. So if you've written a blog that's about 5 things Apple didn't say about the new MacBook, and obviously that person is going ahead then kind of reading more stuff about Apple, and he might benefit more just by reading about stuff about Apple Watch or other stuff about Apple, and you don't want to kind of mix and match, just not give Apple, throw in a little bit of technology. So you basically get to decide what the reader or prospect gets to read in terms of content. So you can kind of personalize the content based on this, so that you can kind of engineer a conversation based on the content that you give him. And the next cool scenario, if you have a computer software business or you kind of make apps, we have this. So let's say people kind of don't like to go through this. I had a question from the gentleman who asked me, like, what is an API? If I was available in person and I had to go ahead and then answer it right now, not much of an issue. But if he has to just understand the notion of API just by reading through all this stuff, and that's going to take a lot of time, rather, if I see him going to 3 to 4 different pages of API document, technical document, and all that stuff, what I can do is I can kind of go ahead and then display a banner like this, which will not be present initially, but based on the activity of the prospect, you can go ahead and then display a banner like this. That different actions kind of invoke this and says there is a webinar, you can get in there, it's kind of very interactive, and then you can go ahead and then register for this, and not only that, you can also see other webinars also. These are like 2 things. One is customized content or dynamically changing the content based on prospects' interest. And also, it's not like showing ads, but at the same time, it's more contextual information that you want to pop up to your prospect so that he feels more personalized and connected to your business. So that's pretty much it. Thank you.